So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is April, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, or you're welcome back if you're a returning viewer. And I thank you so much for staying with me. So, as you guys can see today, I have a guest. I was coming to say host, but I'm the host, and her name is
Patience Asabagna.
Yes, so Patience is here with us today, and she is my friend and also my former faculty mate. So, I mean, I have already graduated, so I'm not in the same law school with her, but she is still a student. So, Patience, just tell us a bit about yourself. What year are you in?
I am a student of the University of Ghana School of Law.
Yeah, the School of Law.
Yes. I'm a post-first degree student. That means I already have a degree and I'm getting a second degree. But as at now, I'm in my final year, post-first degree 400. That's how we call it here.
Yes, so she's in her final year, as you guys have already heard. And how many years is it for post-first degree?
Post-first degree now is 3 years. It used to be 2 years, but it was changed in 2018 to 3 years. Yes.
Do you know why it was changed?
It has to do with workload.
Yeah.
They thought that there was too much to learn within 2 years, and it puts a lot of pressure on people. So rather do it 3 years so we could study it well, as they said.
Yes, so as you guys have heard, Patience is doing 3 years. She's actually in her final year now at the University of Ghana School of Law. She already has a first degree. So Patience, what's your first degree in?
Social work.
Social work.
Yes.
You got it here at UG.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So why did you decide to do law? It was already part of your plan.
Yes, it was already part of the plan, but somewhere along the line, I kept postponing it. I kept trying different things, but finally, I decided to come study law. Yes.
Okay, so you have a degree in social work. That's a Bachelor of Arts, right?
Yes.
And does it matter what degree you had before for you to come and study law?
No, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't
It's just
matter.
I have friends in my class who are from the engineering field, some from maths, and it doesn't matter as long as you have a first degree. Yes, you can come and study.
You can
law.
come and study law.
First step, you have to buy the forms. They are online forms.
Okay, so you fill the form online. After you're done filling the form online, then you have to take your certificates, blah blah blah,
and a few
then
forms, your
Okay.
references. You have to go for references and come and drop them at the
Okay.
law faculty, or post it if you don't stay in Accra. Yes.
So what are the documents? You said references, certificates. That's your Bachelor of Arts degree.
Yes, and if you are a student of University of Ghana, maybe you acquired your first degree here, you don't need to add your certificate.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They can verify that
Yes,
themselves.
you don't need to. It's part of the requirements. So within maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks thereabout, they would send you an email saying you have been shortlisted.
After they send you an email saying that you are qualified to write the exam, then they give you the date, time, location, everything.
And you have to go and pay at the bank
You have to pay at the bank
and
the
take
exam.
a receipt, which
Okay.
would show at the yes.
Okay. Did you prepare for the exam?
Personally, no. I don't know how you mean by preparation, because nobody knows what they are going to examine you on. But then there are people who go for the past questions and they go through and all that.
Yeah.
Personally, I decided to start reading articles on social issues. They don't repeat the questions.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can't get anything from the past questions. Maybe you can just try writing it out and see how you are writing, like your other video. How you would write out your answer. So not in the same way that you have an exam and you have to go through your notes, because there's nothing to learn. Actually, you don't know what to learn. I think it mostly tests you on your language, how you write. Yes.
Okay, what I meant by preparation was asking people who have gotten what the questions were like, going through Pasco, that kind of thing.
Okay, yes. My brother also graduated from the law faculty, University of Ghana. So he took the exams. He was also a first degree
Oh,
student.
okay.
Yes. So
He prepped you sort of,
my brother
small.
doesn't have time to prep.
He's a lawyer.
My brother doesn't have time to prep me. Just that he can tell you, mostly read about the education system reforms and all that. So you have to go and get an article, read people's arguments about how to reform the education system and all those things. Yes, but there are people who set up classes.
For the exam.
Yes, classes to teach people. I see it sometimes, adverts. If you want to come to the University of Ghana Law School, they teach examination, how to answer
Like
the
techniques or something.
Yes, there's a class like the way we have. Yes, there's a class for it. People who teach and people enroll for that. Yes, even when they send you the email, they tell you to ignore all those things. Yes, I think the school is aware and they tell you to ignore, but people still go for it.
But would you recommend, from the way you are talking, it's like you wouldn't really recommend someone to go for those classes here? Because I don't think that they're actually going to benefit, because like you said, this one is, you don't know the kind of questions that are coming.
You know, it's not just one field that is coming for the exam. So they can ask you questions on maybe if you're a science student.
Yeah.
And so they want a general question. So of course it's going to test about how you, the test is going to be about how you answered the questions,
Yeah,
your language and everything.
it's not about the content, is that right? So as in, you can't really make a mistake about what you're saying. It's more about how you answered it.
Maybe it's about how you argued your points. That would go into the content.
Yeah.
Yes, that will go into the content. Aside that, I don't think it's one field sitting for the exam, so they wouldn't ask you wanting a right or wrong question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there were essay questions, all
Yes,
essay
yes.
questions. And how many?
Two.
So you answer all?
Yes.
For how long?
Do I remember? I think it's 90 minutes.
90 minutes. So a bit like an hour, a bit more than an
An
hour.
hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, were you able to finish in that time?
I concluded.
Okay, you concluded
But
on both.
Yes, I concluded on both. You see, you have to time yourself. So when you see that it's 10 minutes, then you
Yeah.
have to start concluding. Yes.
Okay.
The exam mostly is about timing, a lot of timing, because if you don't finish your paper, I don't think you'll be able to. We write it in separate booklets, and I believe it is different people who will be
Who mark.
marking. So one cannot depend on what you wrote in another paper to mark you for the next booklet. So yes.
I understand. Okay, so the two questions for your year, do you remember what they were about? Like vaguely?
Yeah, I wouldn't forget.
Why it was so tough?
No, the thing about it is that they asked about the Heritage Fund. How it was two arguments. Some people say it should be saved, others say it should be invested.
Yeah.
I had not heard about the Heritage Fund when I
Okay.
sat for the exam. I didn't know what the Heritage Fund was.
Yeah, understandable, because even if it wasn't mentioned in oil and gas
Yes,
class, I
at that
wouldn't
time
have
I
even
didn't know
known.
what
Yeah.
it was. And the second question was, why do most Ghanaians die without having a will? Yes, something like that.
Okay, so social questions or
Yes.
questions on current affairs,
Yes,
kind of.
Yes.
Okay, understandable. So how did you answer the question that you didn't know anything about?
Okay, so you have to think. You really have to think. I just saw the question as compare and contrast investment and savings.
Oh, okay, that's very smart. So
Yes,
you
so
categorize
I didn't
it
know
into-
what
Yeah.
the Heritage Fund was, but then I did. I was a business student in SHS. So,
Oh, okay,
yes. So,
okay.
yes. So it was just, I saw it as compare and contrast savings and investments, and I argued my points.
You've made it clear that you don't even have to know, because in your case, like, you went about it smartly, which is, I think, what they are looking out
Yeah.
for. So you don't even know what the question is about, but then you sit think, because you have no choice. Okay, these are two
You paid
composite.
for the exam.
Exactly, and you want to get in. So, like, what do you have to do? And I think that this categorization of what savings and investments is very clever, very, very clever. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, you were able to get in.
Yes.
And then they call you for an interview.
They don't call.
Oh wow, okay. So
So
they
the-
post the names.
I think they posted here, and the day after or two they text you. Yes, our number wasn't so great. We were almost 700 people
Who applied?
who applied.
That's a lot of people.
Who were shortlisted?
Ah,
I
who
don't
were
know.
shortlisted?
Who were shortlisted for
Hey.
the exam. Yes, and after that, about 200 came for the interview. So from like 700 to 200, that's almost 500 off. So yes.
So you were very happy. I mean, it was obviously
Yeah,
a feat.
it's a win. It feels like a win because Oh, okay, I didn't talk about that part. When you come for the exam,
Why?
when you come to write the exam, I don't know if you are not very confident, you might walk out before the exam even starts. You might leave before because people come in their suits, grown-ups, people who are working, and you see people with these answers that they are sitting and chewing, and
Oh my gosh.
and I'm just like, wow.
You are young, you are, fresh, kind of compared
you
to
see
these
grown-ups
people.
and they are working, and wow, you're like, no, this one is not for you. Honestly, I almost left. Abina, my friend who was already at the law faculty, she helped me with a few tips on mostly how to answer their questions. So she talked about what to wear. She told me I should wear this, but this. She told me I should wear a jacket and preferably a skirt.
So you wore
shoes.
like a suit.
A suit.
You wore a
Like
suit.
you came dressed like a lawyer.
Lawyer,
right?
okay. So that is recommended.
Yes, and very little makeup. You don't know your panel.
Yeah.
Someone might not be a makeup person and they will just put the person
Let me
off.
tell you that is very true. I went for an interview for internship and that was the first time in my life that I did acrylic nails. First time, I've never done this before. It wasn't anything extravagant. The very first thing that they told me was, why do you think those nails are nice? Do you think it looks professional? So
Yes,
I
yes,
understand.
yes.
Makeup, nails,
Yes,
those things.
not that it's a requirement that you shouldn't put on makeup, but she was just giving a few tips.
Yeah.
Then about she told me you have to be calm, don't be nervous. That's the most important part. When they don't see nervousness, I think it's one step ahead. So try to be confident.
Confident.
Yes.
So confidence, composed, calm. So when you came for the interview, what was the atmosphere like? Where did you have the interview? At the law school?
Yes, at the law school.
Okay.
Yeah. I came with my boyfriend now, my husband.
So, wow! By the way, let's congratulate Patience because she got married recently. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend the wedding, but yes. I saw the pictures and it's fantastic. So congratulations,
Thank
Patience.
you. So yeah. I told him I was shy because I didn't want people to see that I'm so aggressive about it. So let's drive.
Wait, so you drove in?
Yeah, there was no one at the. Yes, there was no one at the place. No, none of the candidates were in.
But had you been here before? Was it your first time in the faculty?
No. I had been here several times because my brother was here. Sometimes you come. I remember during undergrad, my brother was here. They were having this mood, and I attended.
You attended, okay? Because sometimes when you come, if it's your first time, you can be very intimidated by how the place looks. So that's why I'm asking. True. I think
I felt comfortable because I already come here. I tried to talk about what I do at workplace, and that made me comfortable. I think mostly the tip about interview is that you have to drive it. So let them get you to where you are comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes. So because they asked me about my workplace and all, I think that made it better before I started with all those
other things.
Yes.
Understandable. Okay, so what can you give the most important tip, just one tip, the most important for the interview? Like, is it the dressing? Is it how you talk? Is it being prepared? Because in your case, it didn't really work for you. So what do you think is the one thing that someone who is entering this interview should have in mind?
I think you should be confident.
Confident. Yes. Okay. So what if, because me, I've been in situations where it's I was confident, but I was confident for nothing. You know that thing where it's let's say you answer a question confidently, but then you are wrong, or what you're saying is bad. Then it might look like you're arrogant.
Yes. That's if it is wrong and they point it out to you, that's when you have
just
to accept and tell them you would read more about it.
Okay.
And yes. Something like that. I think that's a very good thing.
Finally, why do you think you made it?
Why do I think
do you think it's more about your exam or more about your interview process?
Okay, so this is it. Your exam, what I heard is that yes, your exam score would still be there. Your interview too, they score you.
Yeah.
So they put all together. Your exam, as soon as when you are shortlisted for the interview, it doesn't, your exam mark doesn't go away, it's still there. So maybe if it was over 100, you scored 70, and okay, 50-50, let's say
Yeah.
the exam was over 50 and you scored 40,
Yeah.
and the interview you also scored 40, then you have a final mark which is high. But then if you do well for the exam and you don't do well for the interview, your score wouldn't be high. Or maybe you did so well, but your exam mark wasn't so
the
high.
best,
So it's not just the interview that would make you get in. The exam too helps.
Sure, but for you personally, what do you think it was?
I think it was my exam.
You think it was the exam?
The time I spent in the interview interview room, I spent very little time, 10 to 15 minutes. And I was done. People spent a whole lot of time there. So when I came out, I felt like they were not interested in whatever I was saying. But later on, I found out that when they form a good opinion about you, earlier, they tend to not waste your time. So they would rather not ask you further questions and all, because they have come to a conclusion about what mark they want to give you. So it's individual marks. It's not one person. It's not that they would all decide to let you in.
Everybody scores you. So it's based on the okay.
So maybe if the person who has not made an opinion about you yet would go further and ask you further questions.
Okay.
Yes. So if they have, but some people didn't. Dr. Mathiel didn't ask me any question. I wonder how he scored.
Maybe he was just looking at you and listening to what you were saying.
I think that's it, because other people that came for my time too, they said he didn't ask them any question. I think he was just focusing on maybe how you are answering the questions.
He was observing. He's more of an observer.
Yes.
Okay, so now the very final thing that I would just like to ask patients. For those people who get in, what is your first advice?
What I will tell you is that you have to take your time. You know, when you're a first degree student, it's different from an undergrad.
It's different.
It's very different in the sense that you already, if you are also in you attended the University of Ghana for your first degree, then you come and you be like, oh, this thing, I know my way around this. So you already know how to answer questions from your faculty.
You feel like you know.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm not like you know, but you feel like you're okay. You can handle university life.
Yeah.
Unlike an undergrad who feels that I have to ask more people more questions and all that. So when you come, you don't really talk much to people. If you read and you understand what you are doing, but then it's totally different here. It's totally different here. It's different. So you have to, I think what you should do is ask a lot of people questions. Ask questions. No matter what you do, read, but ask people about their experiences, because that's the most important part.
Yes. So it doesn't matter whether you did philosophy, whether you did social work, whether you did psychology, even medicine. Even there are some medical doctors who want to be lawyers. I even know my dad is a doctor, so he has a friend who is a medical doctor and now a lawyer. Yes. So it doesn't matter what you did before. Don't come into law school thinking that, oh, you already have a first degree, you already went
Some
to
people
UG.
have a master's,
Even a master's,
in
yes.
my class, yes. So when you come with all that, you feel like, oh, we are good to go. But then
in reality, that's not the case. Yes, because studying the law is different from studying all the other subjects. I mean, for undergrads, our experience is a bit different from post-first degree. If you guys are interested in that, then you should just tell me in the comments below so that I shoot another video about the undergrad experience. I can invite again someone else. For those who don't know, undergrad University of Ghana law students are people who are straight from SHS. Yes, so you have a WASI certificate. You want to study law, so that's undergrad experience, and this was the post-first degree experience. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions for Patience or for me, of course, drop them down in the comments and we will reply them. And I hope to see you guys once again in another video of mine. But until then, bye.